What's up, folks? My name is Kwesi Fulton. Thanks for giving me a watch. I'm a full-time entrepreneur, part-time network marketer. If you're seeing this on Facebook, give me a thumbs up. YouTube, also give me a thumbs up. And today we're going to talk about, is network marketing a cult? And I've heard this many times. Um, and I really want to break down the definition. Now, I love watching Tim Sales explain stuff. This is kind of really revisiting what he said 6 years ago on his YouTube channel because he just really breaks it down for me or breaks it down for you. And as a network marketer, those are sometimes you need to hear this from another person, but I wanted to share what I have learned from him, and I have my notes here. So forgive me if I read a little. So, network marketing is a cult. You hear that? And the Washington Post in 2018 actually came out with something, and I'll read it for you. It says, it's all there. The exaggerated claims of success for everyone and the nonstop need to make the sale and to carry all carried out with a cult-like fervor. Salespeople are instructed to stay away from negative and closed-minded people who try to convince you that there is no opportunity for you. This is more than a con, it's a cult. So that is what the Washington Post said. Now, the Washington Post, New York Times, any of those mainstream outlets or platforms, they're really a propaganda machine. We'll get into that a little bit later, but I just wanted to let you know that's my perspective, especially if you lived through COVID. That's my perspective, 100% about all mainstream stuff. Now, why do they do that? Now, first, let's get the definition of cult. Okay. This is the Collins Dictionary. And it's a system of religious worship or ritual. So a cult could be, it could be extreme Christianity. It could be extreme Islam. I mean, I forget his name. They had a cult in Malibu Canyon. What's his name? He's way dead. But we know what a system of religious worship is, a ritual. That's one definition. The second definition is devoted attachment to or extravagant admiration for a person, principle, or lifestyle. Now, that could be true because most people who want to do network marketing, they want to live the lifestyle that's just freer, independent of have more time freedom. And to just to show you that this can be with anything, people love actors. They want to be actors. They want to live the life they live. How about professional sports? People want to live like LeBron James and things like that. So that could be it, but I wouldn't say that's cultures. That's just life. And then the third definition of it is a group of followers. So hey, you know what? People follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You got followers, or on YouTube. I mean, so okay, so that's the definition. And it doesn't apply to us as network marketing. It's not a religion. To almost anything you're passionate about, CrossFit, they'll say CrossFitters are that's a cult. Most of the people that's calling it a cult are sitting on the couch with a stomach that's out here. All right. Veganism. A lot of people hate, when I say hate, like literally hate vegans. And they cheer. I've seen people cheer when a vegan gets sick and has to come off veganism because, veganism, people could legitimately make it a too stringent, but hey, when it comes to a person's diet, if they want to eat all vegetables and non-dairy, what's wrong with that? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to make it seem like a cult. And there are people who are vegans who hate people who eat meat. I mean, it's crazy. So, Laker fans, that I'm a Laker fan. I'm a Warrior fan more because the Lakers, they got LeBron on the team. So, I mean, fans, chess clubs, I mean, football, I mean, so uh, no, definition number three. So that was definition number two. Definition number three describes every sports team, nonprofit, and brand, meaning like followers. So that's just it. Now we're going to get to the definition of culture. Culture. Okay. The culture of a particular organization or group consists of the habits of the person in it and the way they generally behave. So, network marketing has a culture, but it doesn't make it a cult. Just think about hip hop. Hip hop is a culture. Just think of the way people who are deep into hip hop, the way they dress, bigger baggy clothes, maybe even how they act. I don't even want to get into that because it could, sometimes it crosses the line. Or just think culture of basketball as a basketball player. And all the basketball players, we wore slides, or we call them flip-flops with socks on. And people who don't play basketball look at that and they, that's stupid. Your feet are hot, but they don't know because the culture of basketball, they got the athlete is already ready to go. Oh, I put my shoes on. I don't have to do my socks because you put on the socks a certain way and it's thick enough, and it takes time to do that. Um, the culture of volleyball. I didn't play volleyball, but I used to date a volleyball player and they had a clique. The women volleyball, they had a clique. Not everybody was in it. It was a culture there. At my business, we have a culture, meaning like we want people who are level-headed, who, talk to people, smile. You know what I mean? So, okay. So that is culture. So what critics say about um, people that are passionate about network marketing are, that's the best way I can say it. Passion can look extreme to the outsiders, meaning, again, I'll take basketball as an example. People couldn't see why I would get up early in the morning and go to the gym to shoot around. For me, I was getting ready to play against monsters. I mean, when I say monsters, meaning people that can really ball. So I had to get ahead of the game. Um, and they say avoid negative or discouraging people is just smart, same as an athlete would avoid bad influences. So when that article say that people are encouraged to avoid negative people, who the hell wants to be around a negative person? Have you been around a person that complains a lot? I mean, that can wear on you. I mean, you can be like, hey, the sun's out, it's great. Ah, it's too hot today. Then it's overcast. He said, well, at least it's not hot. That means I can work out. Then well, if the sun's not out, oh my God, I thought this was California. I mean, they yeah. So do you want to be around a person like that? I mean, I have just in my life, I've eliminated people in my life that were just negative. If I pick up, hey, how was your day? Oh, it was crappy. Like every day is crappy. You know what I mean? So in general, you don't want the misery because misery loves company. Who wants to be around a stick in the mud? So when they say avoid negative people, I would tell my kids, if somebody's a negative influence, stay away from their asses. So, okay, and then people confuse a positive culture with brainwashing. So, like we'll use CrossFit for example. People in CrossFit, they work out hard, they eat right, they have a certain way they are. But people will call that brainwashing because let's say somebody who is not fit, like the person in CrossFit, that's jealousy. Oh, well, they're brainwashed. Well, are they? Are they just trying to do better? So, um, that's what I'm saying. Same thing with network marketing. This has been said to me. I mean, people I've known dearly. I have a business that they go to, a brick and mortar business, and they'll tell me, oh, well, that's a cult. Even though it's a business. So that is just a negative. When I say negative, that is the negative perception of people outside of the culture of network marketing that don't understand what it is. Um, So, what's going on in America today? And this is I mean, whether you believe it or not, but the society pushes no winners, no losers. Like my kids were in school, or I may have seen this. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or they didn't jump rope anymore because kids couldn't jump rope, so they stopped jumping rope because they didn't want the kids to feel bad. Now that's a bunch of bullshit. You got to understand how to lose or not do something to get better at it, you know? But everybody nowadays wants to, there's no push, there's no compassion, there's no like example, sometimes just like Michael Jordan, when he was a kid in high school, he tried out for the varsity team, got cut. Now what if they say, "Oh, Michael, it's all right," and they rub his head, "Hey, little man, yeah, you can come on in." No. He got cut, and then that cutting of him motivated him all summer to come back and be incredible. Now, is everybody like that? No. But they will say that Michael Jordan was too extreme. He was working out too. I'm sure people, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that so much? And they tried to discourage him, but he's Michael Jordan. This is who he is. Uh, Policies based on media not the best. Meaning, like, I mean, again, this is just my example, is in my opinion, well, actually, this is not an opinion. I'm gonna say it. A man's a man, a woman's a woman. Like, I literally, I don't feel like I need to be a biologist. I don't feel like I need to be a scholar to know this. But the media, the mainstream media, will convince you otherwise. Meaning, like, hey, you know what? Even though he has a penis, might not be, might not be a dude. So, but that's media based, meaning media has brought that on for people to even question that. So, and I mean, I'm not trying to get political with it, but I'm just saying, hey, the media, influenced people to think like that. So, choosing what's easy instead of the right way. Um, I just recently had let go an employee for not showing up. And I was talking about this to another person who was an employee, not working for me. But this person was like, well, I mean, people can't show up sometimes. What if they had something to do? Or what if they just didn't feel like it? And I'm looking at this person like, you're kidding me, right? Like most people, if you want money, you got to go to work to make money. But nowadays, people aren't, well, do I have to work? I mean, there are people who are receiving Medicaid. I'm just throwing it out there who literally they said, hey, maybe just could you work 20 hours a week? We'll still give you money. Work 20 hours a week. Can't do that. So they rather take the easy route. Well, I'd rather just not make money and get free money instead of going out and achieving more. So so network marketing is the opposite. Rewards ambition, effort, and excellence. So meaning in not network marketing, you get paid for your results, customer base. You get paid for your ambition, your effort, your excellence, because they pay you. So let's say if a person has 10,000 customers compared to the person that has four customers, should this person be making as much as this person? No, because the results aren't there. Now with this, bringing it up, bringing this whole thing back to zero, which is network marketing is a cult. A lot of reasons why people say that is people who have been in network marketing, labeling it as a cult, as a weapon to use to shut you down because they didn't accomplish what they wanted to. Or there's hearsay, and there's a lot between spouses. I've done research on that as well. And let's say one spouse wants to do it, the other spouse might not like that and try to kill their dream by saying, hey, nobody makes it in that. Why are you doing it? Why are you spending the free time you have? Could be a waste of time. Um, and and really that person's a dream killer. Friends can be dream killers. I've had many, many friends tell me. I remember when I first opened up Stretch Spot. This is my brick and mortar business. And I remember going to this guy I used to play basketball with, and he was he worked for the paper. I said, "Hey, I'm opening this business, and it's to stretch people professionally. Could you do an article on it?" And this guy looked at me and laughed. He said, "Nobody's going to pay you to stretch them, yo big ass, you know." And I remember looking at him going, "Really? I would pay somebody to stretch me." And he was a dream killer. Now, 8 years later, we're still in business. Well, 9 years later, still in business with two stores and growing. And that guy's nowhere to be found. Um, as far as with network marketing, the reason why people join it, at least in my mind, when they first see it, is because it's a low cost to start, and the upside is great. But they get excited, especially with no training. You get excited and you tell people, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And let's say you have some success. Some people are just jealous because you're doing what they wish they could do. And I see that a whole lot. And that's terrible, but it's true. So they'll say, oh, it's a cult. Others project their own fears on you, easier to discourage you than to face their own insecurities. Meaning, like if somebody's growing, even if they're not making money, because uh, network marketing is there's a lot of personal development in it, and it really changes a person. But if that person that's next to you, or friend or family member, feels like um, that you're outgrowing them, they'll stop you unconsciously. Like let's just say if you're an alcoholic or a druggie or you overeat and you want to change, it's the same thing. Let's say you overeat. Let's say you're fat. Or can I say that? Overweight. And you're like, you know what? I'm done. I'm losing weight. You put a plan together and you tell your best buddy who's overweight with you, hey, I'm gonna get this done. And they go, really? Why would you do that? Because they don't want you to leave their vibration. So that's what happens with people. And then you have the media itself, who like the Washington Post, the New York Times, people online, where network marketing has helped many people make money to pull themselves out of the rat race. Now, I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me. You definitely have to look for those stats, but they have. Meaning, if there's no one out there making money, no one out there who's gotten out of the rat race, then I would say you're right. But since there are millions of people in network marketing making little money to lots of money, companies are still growing. Companies been around for 50 years. The business has been around longer than that. Um, then they're projecting their own fears on you and insecurity. So if you believe in your goals and you have to protect them. Like when I was trying out for the NBA, I mean, people told me that I could make it. Now I touched the cusp of it, but you know how many people, my father, friends. I had a buddy who laughed at me. Me and him were tight. When I said I wanted to try out for the NBA, he really said, "You really think you could do that?" I'm looking at him like, "Are you kidding me? You know who I am? I'm Kwesi Fulton." That's kind of like the confidence I had. So, a lot of dream killers. You don't want to be around them, and that's probably why they say it. So I'm just expressing that. And in closing, so what is a cult? If by a cult you mean a group of people committed to growth, freedom, and living a life of their dreams, then maybe it is. Maybe network marketing is. But I'll take that cult over your average everyday person, you know. And what do you think? Cult? Is it a cult or is it misunderstood? Hopefully you've got something out of this. Drop your thoughts in the comments wherever you're at, if you're on Facebook, Instagram, or um, YouTube. But I just thought I'd throw it out there. Hopefully I made sense. I tried to write the notes exactly so I can, wouldn't lose track. But let me know your thoughts. I'm interested to hear what you thought, negative or positive. Be nice if you're negative. When I say be nice, don't be an asshole, but just tell me your thoughts, and maybe I'll address them for you. All right. See you on the next one.